Hi, this is Elwin, author of The Easy Exhaustion Cure, founder of Lion Art Herbs and creator of the Health Mastery Training Program. Now, if you're here and if you're like me, you're probably sick of two things. You're probably sick of having approaches thrust on you all the time that don't work, and you're probably sick of even the things that you find that do work that you don't consistently follow through on them. What's going on there? Well, the reason I think that most of the approaches out there just don't work is because they're all one size fits all. You know, they're all, oh, just do my diet, do my exercise regime, take my miracle super magic bullet supplement, and suddenly all your problems will go away. And if you're here, you've probably discovered that actually it's not like that. The reality is that to really master something, to really become excellent at something, you have to put in a little bit of work and a little bit of focus, and you have to learn how to do it. You can't rely on someone else to just come along and give you the magic cure in a box. Unfortunately, that's what we're trained for, especially with modern medicine and advertising, that just take this pill and everything will go away. But if you're here, you're not falling for that anymore. You're here for mastery. And the other challenge of mastery, of course, is that even when you do find approaches that do work to some degree, you know, maybe you found a diet that did make you feel a lot better. Maybe you found an exercise regime that when you did it, you felt really good. Maybe you found there's a combination of supplements or herbs or something that when you took them, they made you feel great. And yet you found that you weren't consistently following through on them. What can you expect from health mastery? What is it? What does it look like? Well, let me tell you what it isn't. It's not perfection. It's not being ideal. Anyone out there who's claiming that they are somehow perfectly healthy in every way, they're not telling you the truth. Because there's two levels of health, right? Yes, there's physical health, but then again, there's also kind of the mental, emotional health. And I challenge you to find anyone out there who's absolutely perfect in every area of their lives. So what do I mean by mastery then? Mastery is when you've really got a grip on something. You may not be the best in the world. In fact, you may even be the best in the world. And yet, even then, people who are the best in the world at anything, you know, whether it's a Tiger Woods at playing golf, or whether it's Warren Buffett at accumulating money, or whatever we're talking about, those people are always trying to get better. Those people are always trying to grow and learn and get to the next level. And that's what mastery is really all about to me. It's always learning, always growing, and yet having a certain amount of competence that you know all the basic areas of your field, in this case, health. And that's what this site is dedicated to. And that's what I want for you. So that you can feel certainty, so that you can feel confident, so that you can feel like you're in control of your life, so that you don't fall for all the, you know, quick fix, one size fits all magic bullet cures out there because you're desperate, because you know that you are the master of your own destiny and you are in control of your own health. I'm not going to be the one who saves you. Some doctor's not going to be the one that saves you. No other guru is going to save you. You're the one that's going to do that. Now, who am I to teach you about that? That's a really great question. Unlike a lot of experts out there, as you can tell, I'm not claiming to be perfect. You know, in fact, I'm just someone who got really desperate and who just happened to stumble upon, pretty much, or actually the way it feels to me, to be honest, is that I was given some of the keys which really help people. And then I found out that really what I had to do with it is I had to share it, because I was constantly bombarded with questions from different people who could see that I was getting somewhere, that I was getting results, and they wanted to share it with me. But it hasn't always been that way. In fact, throughout most of my life, I've been really as far away from health and as far away from mastery as you can imagine. My mother had cancer several times throughout her life. My father had chronic fatigue syndrome and all kinds of other health issues. So I do not come from good genetic stock when it comes to health, right? It's not like I had all the odds stacked in my favour or anything. In fact, my health genetic bank account was pretty much bankrupt. You know, God bless my parents, but yeah, there we go, that's the truth. And you know, throughout most of my early childhood, I would spend my time pretty much being miserable, incredibly low on energy. I was sick a lot. My attendance record was like one of the worst in school. And throughout my adult life, it pretty much continued that way. I was able to work only some of the time. I suffered from something which in hindsight maybe many people would call chronic fatigue, and I didn't really describe it as that at the time. And I was basically addicted to all kinds of stimulants and substances just to keep me going at all. And I hated this situation because I felt I was completely out of control of my life. I felt like I was desperate. I felt I was helpless. And one day I just decided I've had enough, I committed there and then to mastery, to I'm going to get this problem handled or I'm going to die trying. That was pretty much my attitude. Now, there's nothing special about me, like I say, there's nothing amazing or original, or I'm not more clever than you or anything, I'm not more learned than you, but what I am is someone who decided to make a decision that I was going to master my health no matter what. And the funny thing is, when you make that decision, it almost seems like, whether you call it your unconscious or the universe or God or whatever you want to call it, I just happen to stumble upon these key steps that make all the difference in health, and these key distinctions that help me to get to a level of mastery, where in fact now I'm sought after by some of the best in the business. So many other health experts come to me for advice. I'm kind of the health expert. God knows how that happened. I really put myself out there. I've put some of my information out there. I've written books, I've created courses, I've done training. I've a lot of coaching clients who reward me well for giving them radical transformations. I've done consultations face to face with hundreds of people. I've helped thousands of people in a relatively short period of time as a result of using these key distinctions. Now, why create this system called Health Mastery? I found two of the biggest myths that I come across in this whole world. In the self-development world, the biggest myth is you just need to think positive, you just need to feel good, and everything will fall into place, everything will be alright. Law of attraction type of stuff, right? I'm not knocking anyone, but I found in practice over and over again, people who believe that stuff but don't look after their body, don't look after the temple of their soul, right? They suffer and struggle and life is hard and difficult. On the other hand, people who are in the health industry who think that it's all about health, that it's all about the physical body, it's all about taking in the right nutrients and doing the right diet and doing the right exercise and all the rest of it, they quite often are missing something. And a lot of the time they're like, I don't get it, I do yoga every day, I eat just raw green food and I do all this stuff and I still don't feel good. The key is that you have to do both. You have to be a master of both your physiology, right, your physical body, and your psychology, which relates to your head and in fact your heart, right, your mind and your emotions. Now, if you enter your name and email to the left, I'm going to give you massive amounts of free training about this. In fact, I'm going to start off by getting free 1 hour training videos, roughly 1 hour training videos where I go through all this stuff in detail. But let me share to you just very briefly some of the distinctions which I've learned which made a massive difference in my life. So in terms of mastering physiology, what I discovered is that there are 3 basic steps which make all the difference. Not only do you have to do all 3 steps, but you have to do them in the right order as well. And if you try and skip ahead and do the more advanced ones before the most basic ones, then you tend to fall flat on your face at some point. So the first step is to get your energy up and your stress down. That's the first step of your physiology. And this relates to things like hydrating, oxygenating, alkalizing, remineralizing, all kinds of stuff that we'll go into in your trainings when you sign up. And then step 2 is to start detoxifying, to start clearing all the accumulated waste out. Now you need to do that after you've done step 1 because that process tends to lower your energy and make you feel not that good. It's totally worth doing. You must detoxify in order to be healthy, but you normally need to get your energy up and your stress down first, otherwise it can really decimate you. This has been my experience again and again working with thousands of people, that so many people have tried to detoxify without getting their energy up first. So it's a really crucial distinction, right? And then, when you completely clear out and detoxify your body, then you need to bring everything back into balance. Whether it's your hormones, your immune system, whether it's your blood sugar. And again, if you try and, for instance, balance all your hormones while, for instance, your insulin, your cortisol are sky high because your stress is really high, it's not going to happen. So again, getting the right steps first. So first of all, getting your energy up and your stress down, then cleansing your body, and then bringing everything back into balance. That's the absolute key with physiology. But of course, you can know that, and you can actually start and plodding ahead with those steps, and you can still struggle. And why is that? Because there's another pillar, and that's your psychology. Okay? So there's also, I found, 3 crucial steps to mastering your psychology. Now, the first one is to get clarity, and to get clarity about a few different things. One of them is about where you are now. And this this requires a degree of self-honesty, which a lot of people find challenging. But the key thing is, how are you going to get to where you want to go if you don't know where you are now? I mean, literally, if you were dumped in the middle of nowhere and then you had to find your way back to, I don't know, wherever you're from, LA, London, Paris, right? How do you know whether to even turn north or east or whatever if you didn't know where you were? So you've got to be honest and completely clear about where you are now. Second of all, you have to be completely clear about where you're going. I think most people cannot even imagine what it's like to master health. And this is a real challenge, because if you haven't got a clear picture of what that is, you're not going to get there. And then third of all, you need a strategy which is going to get you there step by step. And you need to keep adjusting it until it works. Now that leads us back to steps 2 and 3, and you know what? I'm not going to share them with you here because I've got a massive training that goes in a lot of detail about exactly how to do that. All you need to do, enter your name, enter your email, as I say, and you'll get sent the first training video immediately. You get the other 2 within the space of a couple of days, so you get time to really integrate it. This is really powerful stuff, and I'm giving it to you completely free, whereas many people have paid me hundreds or thousands of dollars to hear it, because I care about you and I want to share this with the world. I want to share this with you right now, because I know this is going to be the most important thing that's going to really make a difference. So what are you going to do right now? You're going to go, okay, never mind, let it pass you by. You're going to grasp this opportunity. Are you going to immerse yourself in the training? Are you going to learn about mastery? And then you're going to act on it, right? Now, you really don't have anything to lose. All I'm asking for is your name and email, not your money, right? So just enter them in. You can unsubscribe at any time if you decide this isn't for you. If you're not ready for this, I completely understand. If you want to try and find some quick fixes or magic cures, by all means, have a go at that, see how it works. If you find it doesn't work, by all means, come back. I'll probably still be here. But I may not have the free training anymore. That's the only thing I can't guarantee. So, ideally, if this feels right to you, if you're ready for mastery now, name and email, click, and I will be with you for the training video very soon.